Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today, where we're going to be talking about how to create compelling presentations for video calls using Genially and mmhmm. My name is Conchi Ruiz. I'm with Genially, and today I'm so lucky to have my friend Troy Malone from mmhmm joining the session with me. Together, we're going to be showing you how to step up your Zoom game, how you can stand out from every other presenter in the room and create those engaging presentations that everybody wants to create. I'm going to be leading the first part of the session today. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about presentations in general and also how to create interactive content with Genially. And then I'm going to hand it over to Troy, and he's going to show you how you can put yourself in the slides, as I'm doing right now, and many other cool features that mmhmm has to offer. So I hope you will stick around until the end. Before I begin, I want to say a couple of things. The first one is that there's a chat. So if there's any questions as Troy and I talk today, you're welcome to leave those questions in the chat, and the Genially team is there and the mmhmm team is there as well. So you're going to get answers on the spot. And also, I wanted to say that Genially is free, so you can register for free. Okay, there's a pro version, but the free version is very robust. You get a lot in the free version, so I'm going to say just go for it and don't feel shy about recommending Genially to your friends. And now we're going to talk presentations for a little bit. Presentations are always a unique opportunity to connect with your audience. And it doesn't have to be such a big presentation as the one you're seeing on the photo. We do presentations every day, okay? We have video meetings every day and we're teaching every day. So that's always an opportunity to connect with our audience, okay? Those are forms of presentations. And we all do presentations in our daily life, or have done at some point. PowerPoint has more than 500 million users, okay? And over 30 million presentations are created every day. 1 million presentations are delivered right this moment, and this is one of them. Unfortunately, most of those presentations are unbearable, to put it lightly, okay? They're super boring, and after a few minutes, the audience disconnect, okay? Or we disconnect from, the speaker. And it's a pity, And you might think, it was a really boring topic. That's why it didn't stick with the audience. But the truth is there's no boring topics. Like, any topic can be engaging, can be entertaining and educational if we know how to present it, okay? So we need to, practice our speech, practice our words, and also make use of the tools that are available to us to step up our game, like Genially and mmhmm, okay? So that we can stand out from other presenters. And I'm going to talk about different types of presentations. We have a very diverse audience today. So I know we have people from the educational world, from the corporate world. We have designers. Genially has a very diverse user base and audience. So I want to, cater to everybody. So these are different types of presentations. So an informative presentation is the one whose goal is to be useful. Okay, they want to teach something. Okay, so an example of this type of presentation can be, a class or a press conference or a training. Okay, we also have motivational presentations, and those have an emotional component. Okay, those want to touch our hearts, and they want to encourage us for something, or they want to encourage us and motivate us. So those are some examples of presentations, of motivational presentations. And then there's fun presentations the goal of those is to entertain, okay? So example of an entertaining presentation is a monologue, for example. And then we have persuasive presentations, and those presentations, they want to convince us, okay? They want to sell us something, or we want to sell something. So, a sales pitch is an example, a political speech is another. So those are examples of different types of presentations, okay? In my opinion, every presentation should have a little bit of these 4 elements, if you ask me. And now we need to understand how our brain works and how we process information. And these 4 elements are key to the way we process information and we assimilate information. So I'm going to go into storytelling, okay, our brain or human beings, we love stories, okay? So we need to incorporate more stories in our presentations. Neuroscience tells us that our brains light up like a Christmas tree when we hear a story, okay? And it's not the same with data. So that is to say, we need more storytelling and less data in our presentations. We tend to put a lot of numbers in there, and we need to balance it out a bit better. And also, we now live in a very technological world, okay? Most of the presentations we deliver are online, are digitally, okay? So we need to make sure we make use of the new platforms like Genially or like mmhmm to help you adapt to that technical environment or digital environment we live in these days. Visual elements, okay? Visual elements are very important, okay? We're visual beings. Our eyes are always collecting information, and we've communicated visually for more than 40,000 years. So I'm sure you're familiar with the two examples that you see in the screen right now, visual communication examples. And I'm sure you all have a friend who keep texting you emojis in the messages. Okay, so that's a way of visual communication as well. This, for example, is the plot of a movie told with emojis. And this has happened since the beginning of time. So hundreds and hundreds of years ago, we communicated with not emojis, but something quite similar, okay? So this is to say that our brains are biologically wired to assimilate that visual information, okay? And that visual resources are our allies to create content that is going to be clear and is going to motivate our audience and is going to stay with them, okay? Positive tone, okay? We need to use a positive tone, okay? Smile. We're all searching for happiness, okay? And positive messages stick with us longer than the negative messages. So, if you want to make your message memorable and you want it to stay with the audience for a long time, make it a positive one. It'll be more successful. And then interactivity. You're seeing my presentation is fully interactive today. That's one of the key elements of Genially. You're able to add interactivity to everything. And we're interactive beings as well, okay? So being an interactive being means that we like to explore our surroundings, excuse me. We're natural explorers. We like to discover and explore. So normally in traditional presentations, we just sit back and listen. So that's why we get bored and disconnect. But in interactive presentations like this one, you're bringing your audience with you and they're able to explore different elements, okay? They're participating, okay? So it's much more engaging, okay? So all this you can achieve with Genially, okay? And what I'm going to do now is to show you how the tool looks, okay? So let's go over to the editor. So this is what you will see when you come to sign up, okay? I'm already there, so I will go to my panel. And it might take a few seconds to load. Everything in Genially is in the cloud. That allows for, to work collaborative with other people and so many other features that I hope you will discover with time. So the first thing that you see is your desk, okay? These are all my presentations that I've been working on, and I have some folders here as well. So, probably you can do a better job of keeping it tidy. But yeah, this is your desk, okay? The presentations or creations that have these two people here, those are the ones that are collaborative, okay? I'm collaborating in those with other coworkers of mine, okay? And then you would head over to Create Genially. And here are the categories of creations. Today we've been talking about presentations, but you can create so many things with Genially. You would normally need 5 or 6 tools to create what Genially allows you to do. So with Genially, you only need the one, and you can create infographics, games, training materials, so many things, and also start from the scratch, okay? If you are a designer, for example, you can create from the very beginning as well, okay? And these are the templates. We have a big design team. maybe not so big, but very active design team. We have new templates every couple of weeks. They're very talented, and there's always fresh things for you to explore. Okay. And I'm gonna open up a presentation for you so that you can see how that looks. I'm gonna pick this one for example, and you can change the palette down here. So you're able to customize to your, these are the palettes that are presets, but you can customize everything, okay? With your brand colors or whatever you would like. And then you can preview the slides before you select them, okay? And these animations come by default. You can edit absolutely everything, okay? So if something doesn't resonate with you, you can change it, okay? So I'm gonna hit use this template, and I'm gonna select all the slides. I normally select them all and then delete the ones that I don't need or that I don't want, but I like having enough layouts to pick from when I'm working, okay? And now it's loading. Okay, and here we are, and I just want to show you all the options. Okay, you have a menu here, and every time you click on something you get another menu here, so there's a lot to explore. Okay, so I hope I'm sparking your curiosity to come in and explore all the options. You can add images from Pixabay, GIFs, from your computer, from Google Drive or Dropbox. Genially is integrated with a lot of tools, so that allows you to bring a lot of layers of information within your slides or your presentation. Okay, you can embed YouTube videos, really anything into Genially. Okay, these are buttons. You can add interactivity too, and smart blocks, and I'll show you the graphs as well. This is a popular feature. You're able to add interactive graphs into Genially, so just to show you can do a lot. Okay, and I highly encourage you to check it out. And before I hand it over to Troy, one more thing I want to show you is the inspiration section. If you don't know where to begin, if you're overwhelmed at the beginning, I would say go to the inspiration section. Genially has 16 million users around the world. We have users everywhere. It's a global company. We have a wonderful community. And when you go to the inspiration section, you have creations by users, just like you, just like me, who have shared with the community, okay? The ones that have the arrows are reusable, okay? So you're able to use this presentation as a template for yourself, okay? And you can see what others are doing in Genially, and that might give you ideas of things you can do, okay? I'm gonna show you this quiz, for example, so that you can see that you can do many different type of things with Genially, okay? So there you go. I'm gonna get this one wrong, okay, so that you can see, and then I'm gonna get it right. Okay, and that's it, really. One more thing. These are feature creators. Okay, so you can also look into the profiles of heavy users, their teachers, their designers, their marketing people. So you can always look and see what they're doing with the tool. Okay, won't be taking any more time. Troy, I'm gonna hand it over to you. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I hope you're really gonna enjoy seeing what Troy is gonna show you and learning about mmhmm. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Conchi. You did an amazing job. By the way, guys, she is pretty early in her usage of mmhmm, and it's so cool to see her bring in her Genially slides and do such a great presentation in mmhmm. She's a pro now. So thank you, Conchi. It is awesome to be here. It is awesome to be with all of you and talking about Genially and mmhmm together as tools that can make you an amazing presenter and help you really tell your story in the way that you want to tell it. So Genially, as you know, is known for creating amazingly designed assets that you can pull into mmhmm and present to the world in a very compelling way. And today we're going to talk about how you do that. So today we're going to talk about what mmhmm is, how to customize your presentations, and then how to record them and send them out to people to share them with the world. So first, what is mmhmm? Now, technically, mmhmm is a software that you download and install on your computer, and it creates what's called a virtual camera in a software sense. And so you can pull that virtual camera into a Zoom meeting and use it in a Zoom call, kind of like I'm doing here, presenting to people. Or you can actually record directly on your hard drive what you're doing in mmhmm and share that with other people. But it's a virtual camera. It's a piece of software that you download and install. Now, where do you install or where do you download it? You get it at mmhmm.app/downloads. So I encourage all of you right now, go to a browser, go to mmhmm.app/downloads and start downloading it right now, because at the end of the webinar, in order to claim your free premium that we're going to be giving to all of you, you'll need to have an account created on the mmhmm service. So get prepared and start doing that. Now, this is one of the slides that Conchi was using from Genially. So as you can see, you can beautifully put it over your shoulder as if you're a newscaster. You can do a lot of things with mmhmm. This is just one example of what you can do. I love her slides, by the way. I love what you can do with Genially. She can pull them into mmhmm and use them just like this. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Our goal is to give you communication superpowers so that when you are communicating in a live sense on a Zoom call or in a recorded sense, we want the people that view your recording or view your content to feel like you have special superpowers because you're using Genially and mmhmm together to produce compelling presentations. All right, so you can create your presentation in 3 easy steps. Number 1, add your content, but I guess I should give a precursor to that. Create your content in Genially, and then add your content that you created in Genially into mmhmm, and I'll show you how to do that. Number 2, you construct your stage, and I'll explain what that means, but essentially the environment that you're in, the background, where the slide is located, where you're located, all of that you can configure very easily in mmhmm. And number 3, you present. And I think that it really gives you a confidence when you look good, you have great looking content, it really makes your presentation stand out. Now, a great thing is this whole presentation that I'm doing today for this webinar, I'm literally clicking next slide, that's it. I'm doing nothing else. mmhmm, once it's configured with your presentation materials and everything, the way you want it to look, it is a simple task to present. Next slide is easy for all of us. So as you can see, I went to the next slide here. It put me down here in a circle. And I just wanted to highlight a great use of mmhmm from Gernard. He's, I forget what country he's in. He's somewhere out of Europe. But he does amazing presentations and keynotes, everything that this guy does. And he makes good use of mmhmm. Here's another example of a math teacher, but notice that normally this would be a voiceover with the video that she has with the writing, but mmhmm allows her to be present with her content. And when you're teaching students, that's vitally important to keep their interest up and their engagement up. So that she's doing a great job there. And lastly, here's a guy who took mmhmm and is using kind of the same circle thing that I'm using here, but he was telling a spooky story. So the uses of mmhmm are unlimited. They're only limited by your own creativity, and we'll try to give you some good examples to inspire you. Now, let's jump into mmhmm proper and tell you how to get it all set up and use it. Now, as I said, download it at our website, mmhmm.app/downloads, and create an account. Now, once you've downloaded it, created your account, you'll open it up on your computer, and this is what you'll see. You'll see a video kind of representation of you I believe when you first download it, down below, you'll have some slides already pre-populated that you can kind of play around with. But this is the interface. This is what you look at when you're building a presentation in mmhmm. Now, I mentioned that we're a virtual camera. This is a Zoom interface. In Zoom, if you click on the camera at the lower left, it'll expand a menu and you'll see the mmhmm camera is right there. Simply choose that and everything that you see in mmhmm will be projected onto your Zoom call. It's also the same for Google Meet as well as Google Teams. So, sorry, Microsoft Teams. Sorry, Microsoft. Google Teams not. Google Meet and Microsoft Teams. So we work on all of the major streaming platforms. And again, you just need to go into the camera and choose the mmhmm camera and you'll project what you're doing in mmhmm. Okay, let's talk about green screen options. Now today I'm using a green screen. So you can see I have a, it kind of looks like I'm in this room. Actually, the funny thing is this is my real office, but I took a video of it and now I'm using it as a background so that I could change backgrounds as I go through this presentation. Now, Conchi actually loves my office and she couldn't believe that these machines were real, but they are. But today I'm actually faking it. This is a green screen and I have my real background as a video behind me. So it's kind of funny what I did today. But green screen, let's talk about it. You don't have to use a green screen with mmhmm. If you click on the camera tab in the upper right of mmhmm, you see a checkbox that says, I have a green screen. Now me, because I do have a green screen, and you'll notice I changed my background here, I check that box. If you don't have a physical green screen behind you, you simply uncheck that box and mmhmm will create a virtual green screen for you. Let me show you what that looks like. My colleague Lauren here, the lovely Lauren, she always coordinates her clothes with the backgrounds. I love it. But this is her with the virtual green screen. You can see there's a little bit of fuzziness, between her shoulder in the background and her hair in the background. This is her with the physical green screen. It's a little bit sharper between her and the background. So it's a subtle difference. But if you want kind of, a really tight appearance as if you were actually in that environment, you go with the physical green screen. But if you just want kind of a good approximation of, your outline and the background, then you can go with the virtual green screen. You also can use your real room background. You don't have to have, a green screen or do a virtual green screen. This is Lauren. And what she's done is she's cropped her video feed, which you can do in mmhmm. And then she's talking about what's next to her over there, which is a slide. So remember, slides can, well, I shouldn't say remember, I didn't tell you. Slides can actually be images. They can be videos and different assets. In this case, it's an image. And she simply can move that image anywhere she wants it. So she's essentially created this room for herself to perfectly fit her video and the image she wants to talk about. Now, here I am in, again, my virtual real office, but I could have imagery up here in my, with my real background. I would have to simply make sure that I kind of move out of the way, because when you use your real background, the slides are actually over the video. So the slide wouldn't appear behind me. It would actually be over me. So what I typically do is I'll move over here and then talk about the slide that I'm projecting over here. So you can do a lot. There's a lot of options with green screen, no green screen, etc. Okay, choosing rooms. Rooms are essentially your background, and it's also the location of the speaker and the location of the slides. So the way you choose a room is you click on the Rooms tab in the upper right-hand corner of the application. It'll give you all the options that you have installed on the app that you can just simply click between different rooms. If you click More Rooms, a pop-up will come up with a whole library of hundreds of rooms that you can choose from. And as a quick tip, You can also upload your own backgrounds for your rooms, and those backgrounds can be either an image or a video, which is kind of cool. I do a lot of video different backgrounds. In fact, the background I'm using today of my office, right here, you can see kind of like the game is playing the demo in the background. That is a video background that I'm using for this room. Now, managing the presenter. How do you manage the presenter? Again, in the similar location is the presenter tab. On the presenter tab, you have the first thing is a slider. I'm just going to slide it to the left, and you'll see that it'll fade me out. It's actually a fading toggle there. And you can change the size of the speaker also. Like if I just go boom, I can be bigger or smaller, right? So it's very easy to change the size of the speaker, the location of the speaker, fade in and out, etc. You can also do some cool effects. So if I want to look as though I'm in a 1920s movie. Did they even have movies in 1920? I don't even know. But if I want to look like I'm in an old movie, I would do this. I can put rain on the screen. I can actually change the difference of the raindrop size, etc. But these are all things that you can do with effects in the application. Okay. Another thing that you can do, the way that Lauren actually created this room that we're looking at, is she clicked on that middle where the arrow is pointing. That middle tab allows you to crop your video into a certain size, put it where you want it. So she did that. If you click the far right one, it'll put your, it'll focus in on your face and put it in a circle. And of course, you can move that wherever you want it to be. So that is a great thing to do. I'll move myself back down here. Okay. As I mentioned, we have a lot of cool effects. One that I didn't do was what I call the Princess Leia effect. If any of you remember the first Star Wars, Princess Leia appeared as a hologram, telling people that she was in trouble. I think it was Luke, that she needed help. So this is the Princess Leia hologram. You can make it any color you want, but there's a lot of effects that you can kind of experiment with, have fun with, and make them your own. Managing presentation slides. It's easy. As I told you before, you would create your slides in Genially, and then you can export them as a JPEG or a PDF. And then you can literally just drag those slides directly into the slide bar below, and it will create your presentation in mmhmm so that you can skip slide to slide. And the slide controls are just right here. There's 3 buttons. One is slide off, the other one is slide on your shoulder, and the other one is full. Those are pretty self-explanatory, but as you can see, you can change the location, the size, etc. of the slides that you put into mmhmm. Now, here is a really cool feature that we released not too long ago. It's called scenes. So you want to control the location of the speaker in the slides, and the way you do that is in scenes. Every scene memorizes or remembers the location of the speaker and the slide, and you can create a number of slides that have a certain look, and then you can have another scene that can contain a number of slides with a different look. So scenes are very helpful in helping you create a presentation that takes into account where you should be located and where the content should be located. Now, this is really cool. This is Lauren again doing a screen share. She's actually sharing her phone. You can share your phone. You can share any application on your computer in a screen share in mmhmm. It's live, and it's something that you can talk through. So in this case, she's talking through some NASA news. You could also have an application up here and give someone a demo of how to use an application. You can do so much with screen share, and it's so easy to do. How do you record with mmhmm? Let me show you. It's pretty easy. So down below, there is a record button. You simply push it. It'll give you a countdown up top, and then you're recording. I'm actually recording the presentation today. So it's recording. You have a timeline up top so you can see how long it's taking. And when you're done, you simply press stop. And once you've stopped, it saves that recording, and then you can export that recording. Let's see how that's done. You press publish down below, and it will give you the ability to save it as an MP4, which Lauren is doing right here. And you simply name it, specify where you want to save it, and press save, and it'll export that to that location. The other thing that you can do, well, this is an example of Lauren exporting a video to YouTube. So you can take that MP4 and put it on whatever platform you want to distribute it. Now, you can also publish what we call a watchable link. And this is a link that we generate at mmhmm and give to you, and you can share that with anyone you like so that they can see your presentation in a browser window. The way you do that is you click publish, and when the dialog comes up here, you simply click publish, and you can see a link is generated right here that you can copy and share with whoever you want to send it to. So publishing to that type of link is great. And one of the great benefits, this is the web page that it generates with the video. And you can see the slides are all indexed down here. So if you click on any slide, it will take you to that part where the speaker is talking about that slide. So think of it as an indexed presentation where your user or your viewer can click to any slide and make it really easy to jump to the content that they're interested in. So that is a brief overview of what you can do with mmhmm. I hope that that was helpful and that you have at least a working knowledge, enough of a working knowledge to jump in and start experimenting. Now, as was advertised for this webinar, we're going to give everyone that attends this webinar the opportunity to get free premium. Now, how do you do that? Number one, download and install the application. Remember, it's what was it? mmhmm.app/download. Go there, download it, install it on your computer, and create an account. Typically, you'll use your email address to create your account with, and then you're going to email us what email address you used for your account, because we need that to be able to upgrade you to the 3 months of free premium. You can email us, get ready to write this down. I'll leave it on here a little bit so that you can write this down, at community@mmhmm.app. mmhmm is just mmhmm. And email us at that email address and let us know that you attended the Genially webinar and you want to be upgraded to your 3 months of free premium, and we'll do that for you straight away. Sometimes it'll take a day or so to get that done. It's still a little bit of a manual process, but we'll definitely get you taken care of. So next, I want to give you a bonus challenge. Any of you who download, install mmhmm, and make a welcome video and share it via the link that I just showed you how to create in the publish dialog, if you take that link and email it to us at community@mmhmm.app, we're going to take a look at all the submissions we get from this webinar. Number one, it's going to be great to meet you. But number two, we have a panel of employee judges here at mmhmm that are going to choose the top 3 that they like the best. And we're going to give those winners a 1 year of free premium as well. So I really encourage you to enter, get into mmhmm, experiment with it a little bit. The welcome video or introduction video of yourself doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be amazing. It just needs to be you using mmhmm and telling us how you feel about it. So please do that, and we'll give you 1 year of free premium if you're chosen as one of the top 3. So, hey, thank you so much for your time and attention. It's been great to get to know the Genially community and the Genially team, and it's great to work with them. We really hope that you get value out of understanding how to create amazing presentation material in Genially and bringing that into mmhmm to be able to present it to the world in a very compelling way. So with that, I'll say thank you again, and also thank you, Conchi, and I will turn the time now back over to Conchi so she can close out this webinar and do her thing. So thank you, Conchi, and thank you all of you who attended, and we'll talk to you soon. Remember, it's community@mmhmm.app. See you.
Thank you so much, Troy. That was excellent. And thank you everybody for joining us today. This video is going to stay on our YouTube channel, so you can rewatch as many times as you need. I hope all the questions were answered in the chat. If anything was left unanswered, please feel free to ask in social media on Twitter with the hashtag AskGenially, okay? And a person from the team will be right with you. And that's it. I hope everybody will have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.